coming to you. We're going to be installing the PRL high volume intake today. So we're going to show you some of the steps and things that have to be done to get ready to do the install. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're obviously going to unhook the battery because you don't want to have any issues. All right, so we're going to unhook the battery. All right, make sure you don't want to hit anything and ground out because you'll be making sparks. Okay, battery's going to be unhooked. Okay, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to start taking out the hood scoop. So we're doing step by step here, and a lot of guys have questions, so we're going to do this nice and slow and make sure everyone has a really good, clear understanding how this works. Okay, you got two 10 bolts there, real simple. Then there's little latches here going to come out. They're on the side, so you're going to pull up on those. And I'll show you them too when they come out, but not really too much of a big deal. All right. Then there's two latches here. They're just going to pull out, so this loosens up, and you're going to pull it out. Don't be too scared to pull a little pressure on it. I'm going to kind of pry it out on the bottom here. Yeah, she's tight. Okay, and again, make sure those two slices on the bottom are pulled out, and this should pull out. Okay, these are going to pull up on the side there. You'll see, makes things a little bit tight there. All right, pretty simple stuff here. Next step I'm going to do is probably unhooked and take it out now. It's going to be the sensor that you're going to have to reuse. And again, there's no specific step. I'm just going to take these things out now. They've never been out, so they're definitely tight. So make sure you have a really good screwdriver. That's going to be able to do the job and not be stripping anything. And you want to be very careful with that sensor because you're going to need to reuse it. So I suggest putting it someplace safely. You don't want to get it dirty or drop it. Okay. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this up here so I can get this out. Okay. Nice little, got to break the seal there a little bit. Looks like there'll be some clips here. Gonna have to undo so you can get them out. Kind of put that to the side, whatever you're going to be at. Then there's going to be, I believe that's a 10 millimeter down here and a 10 millimeter up here that we're going to have to loosen up to get that out. Yep, that works. Definitely a 10 mil. Let's see if I have a longer extension that I'd like to use if possible. Perfect. These will just kind of stay in, loosen up, so that's good. Okay, so I guess if you want, you can separate these two, the box piece here, or it might just come out all in one. I'm not sure yet, so let's see. I that does loosen up. Make sure I have everything gone here. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up the box, the clips, and take the top piece off first. Not going to be a big deal. That's one clip. Looks like that was the only two. Not sure. Yep. This will come out. And I'm going to loosen this up a little more. So a pretty good seal there. Fantastic. So that comes off real simple. Drop it down. See what this filter looks like. Only 4,000 miles, so it's not too bad. Alrighty, so it looks like we have the box. Can pull out now. I have to just double check. Looks like there is a collar down here. Pulls out. So remember, a 10 there, a 10 down there, and at the bottom down here it would be a little grommet. So the battery's unhooked, so we should be good to go. And I'm just gonna take this out now because it's gonna be in my way. Now. Okay, awesome. All right, so I got a nice clear shot there. I'm gonna pull it out. Looks like there is gonna be a little clip piece back here. Then I'm gonna have to squeeze with a pair of pliers to pull out. And box is out. Pretty simple. Okay, so I do know, reading the instructions, that the computer has to come out because there's going to be an air scoop that goes down under here. All right, so we're going to remove the computer. All right, and you're going to want to be very careful because these are very tight. So you want to just kind of pull them back. Don't force them through. Kind of let them open up naturally and come off. And they're not easy to pull out. So don't think you are doing something wrong, but I'm going to get these out of here. And they are tight. All right, so we loosened up and got the computer out and unhooked everything. Be very careful because those are very tight, so you do have to yank on them a little bit. We're gonna pull the box out. So it looks like a 10 millimeter here, and looks like another 10 millimeter at the bottom down there. Alrighty there. Looks like she's coming out. And looks like she's got another bolt down here. I don't want to lose any bolts, so I'm going to use my little magnet here just in case. I think I'm gonna get it. I got it. I'll do if it comes out right now. Looks like there is a clip on the side here. That has to be undone, pushed out. It's gonna be another screwdriver. Let's see. The pliers, that's what we're looking for. Another little clip on the side here. Okay, one, and we got one more on the bottom. Okay, and we're done. All right, so now I have the high volume intake from PRL that I just received. So we're going to open it up and see what we got going on here before we do the install. You did a good job packing. Paper down for now. Let me get some of the parts out. Nice. So I picked up all my parts on acionindustries. So if you guys are looking for any parts or anything like that, he's definitely the man to go to. He's about the community and takes care of everyone. So I highly recommend going to him. So let's throw my sticker back down here for now. And she's looking nice. Cool. So real simple stuff here. We're just going to set it on the floor, and then we will kind of get a look at what's going on here. See if there's anything else in the box. I believe that's going to be it though. Let's see what else we got. Those stickers are worth about 5 horsepower each. All right, so got it out of the box. Remove the screws. Gonna take off the plate. They packed everything nicely up in here, so that's pretty cool. Looks like we got a clamp. Looks like a velocity stack for the map air sensor. Nice and boxed up. And we have a filter that's pre-oiled, PRL. Looks like we got some hardware in here, which we'll find out what we're doing with that. Got some silicone hoses with the PRL logo on it. Some more hardware. And we got this little cold air piece, what we're going to be installing next. So that's a pretty ingenious piece that they did there. This is going to be the cold air part that's going to fit in the bottom of the box, that fits in your fender well at the bottom, which we're going to install that next. All right, so now we're going to put in where the mass airflow goes. Real simple. Take everything out of the box. You're going to line up these holes here. All right. Take one of your Allens. They already got, already got a little RTV or something on them to keep them from backing out. Some thread lock sealer. So I'm just going to get these little plastic pieces here, and we're going to just get them started here to install it. Yeah, you're definitely going to make sure that that thread locker's on there, because these screws are not very long at all. So it's definitely going to play a key role in making sure that they're secure. All right, we're gonna finish tightening this up and we'll be right back. All right, all bolted up, ready to go. I snugged them pretty good. I'm gonna wait for to go through a heat cycle and probably go back and recheck them. I'm gonna put the air cleaner in next. Self-explanatory. Clamp goes on. We'll put the clamp on the hose on the filter. Install the filter inside the box. I think everybody's pretty familiar with that. Not really hard. That's it. And we're just going to tighten it up. And that's going to be it for now. All right, everything's installed. Everything tightened up. The box is real simple to put together. If you've done this before, then you will fully understand. Cover goes on to cover up the box. Gonna put the nuts in, bolts in I should say, and these things get lost very easily, so you kind of want to make sure they're snug and keep an eye on them. I know one of my boxes I lost one before, but I'm going to make sure that these are on good. All right, so we got the stock box here. You're gonna have to pull out this grommet here, and this one back here, and then they're gonna get installed. Those grommets, one's gonna go here, and one on the bottom here is gonna go there, and there's gonna be another grommet up over here in the corner. All right, so inside the package there's gonna be a little bracket. You'll see it all over there in your little packet from PRL. You're gonna install this little piece here. This is the cold air side that's gonna go into the fender well. So you just gotta put that on here, tighten it up pretty good. And you get to take out the ECU bracket. So you're gonna look down here, and I'm gonna undo this clip. Okay, that's one. And I'm gonna pull this bracket out. And there's like this 110mm bolt here. This is the ECU bracket. Instructions are also on the PRL website, but we're gonna just take it out. Real simple stuff. I believe that does not get reinstalled if I read the directions correctly. So we'll see why, but this ECU bracket comes out, and there is going to be one little clip on here. It looks like a pain in the butt to get off, but it'll come off. All right, so we got that out. This little piece you're not going to use anymore. There's a little bracket down here that holds the ECU. You're going to unclip this and unclip this bracket. And then we're done with this piece, so I'm just going to set it down for now. And then this is the other piece. So you install that. It's going to fit down here in the corner. And there's a little bolt right here where you had to install the unbolt the ECU bracket. You're going to put one of these screws in here, and it's going to go through here and bolt in. All right, so right now that's what we're getting ready to do. So we just installed that piece for the cold air. Basically, it's going to bolt down to that bolt I showed you. You don't want to get too tight because you can put a hole through this, so just make it a little snug. And then to clip back this ECU piece that you took off the wiring back in the corner there. And now I'm going to put the box together and we'll show how that works. All right, so the next step was to install the computer back in, which we did. So you put your tin back in here, tin back in the bottom. Then we're going to put the ECU back in. So just make sure you don't want to force it down. So kind of get everything set into place. Loosen it up and get it back in. All right, so I installed this, not completed yet because I'm going to do the high volume inlet after this. But some keynotes. There's a factory thing that goes for the mass airflow. I didn't take the plastic piece off like they said. I basically routed it underneath the box and left everything on. I didn't really want to take off the plastic piece like they suggest, and I'll clip it onto here. This is, you don't want to bolt anything down to get everything, all your couplers and everything on, because it's a kind of a pain in the butt to get this all lined up. The grommet on the bottom is a pain in the butt, but it will line up, and getting these 2 holes up here will line up. I am going to do the high volume intake next, so I will show that part of it with the video when it's complete, when this is all installed. All right, so we just received the high volume intake from PRL, the titanium, so we're going to open it up right now. We're going to take a look at it, and then I'm going to do the install. But first, we're going to take a look at all the pieces that we received. And you see these goodies that we got. So it looks like we got some clamps, some couplers that we received. All right. Let's just set these down here real quick. And then looks like we have some pretty simple stuff here. Looks like we got the little elbow piece that wraps around off the turbo. Very nice. Look how big that is. Nice. This part's going to bolt to the turbo. I am going to install a little piece there. I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. It's basically like an insulator that goes between the turbo and that, keeps the heat off the pipe. And PRL stickers and postcards. And this should be the titanium inlet. Pretty straightforward install, real simple. Very nice, light, good distributor heat. So we'll leave it all wrapped up till we do the final install, and we'll share that with you. Hey, what's going on? So now we're going to install the titanium pipe inlet. So we have to take up a few things. We already started doing the cold air box, but we're going to do everything at once. So right now I'm going to just loosen up the covers. It's 10 millimeters. Should be all 10 millimeters to take these off. Okay, let's set this down over here. There looks to be another, I'll bolt this piece, another 10. I'll loosen that up. Okay, that's just going to be like a brace. It's a little bit longer than anticipated. Or it doesn't really want to come out. But it's loose regardless. Alright, then there's going to be two. I'm going to unclip all these little guys over here. And just so we can give you a shot, and we'll come back real quick. These are going to I'll bolt all these, pull these out the way. And then there's a little piece down here that's 2 12s. Let me see if I have a light. Alright, just 2 12s. They're going to be on the turbo right there. There's one here, and there's one pain in the butt, one all the way in the back. So basically all this has to pull out of the way, undo those 2 12s, just pulls out, and then we'll come back once we get them out and show you what it looks like. All right, so we're gonna undo these two 10s here. There's gonna be one here and one here, and I'm also gonna push this down and take that clip off to get it out the way. There's one 10mm here that we gotta loosen up so we can get to the bolt on the turbo. And I might grab my trusty little magnet because I don't want to lose this. All right. Okay, it's loose. And then I got another one right here we're gonna do. All right, so we unbolted the bolts here. We had one here, one down there. There's two 12s. There's one in the back there and one up front here. So I'm going to unbolt them real quick, hopefully with no problems. Pretty simple. It's just that this is in a really bad spot. And didn't get my ratchet Milwaukee yet, which I'll probably get after today. A little tight, but it came undone, no problem. And let's get this other one. Should be right in here. A little hose in the way. Hold that light. Okay. All right. Loose, not too bad. All right. Loosen this up. Probably pull this little hose out the way, get out the way. One out, one more in the back. This one will probably get the little magnet. I don't want to lose that bolt. That's just going to make it really interesting. Let's see. So I can pull it out with it, and we can. It's out. Now we're pretty much going to take out the inlet. Should come out pretty easy. Let's hope so. Bolt it from the turbo. Oh, there is one line underneath here I didn't see. So I'm going to have to unbolt that real quick. So I don't have to remove this coolant line here, or there's two 10s here. So like we're learning and doing it for, so we're doing it together and we're learning, so you don't make a mistake like I almost did and take off that coolant line and made a mess. But I didn't have these on the Accord when I did it, so it wasn't a big deal. I had to reroute the line and something different, but this car has it already set up. That's one. And two. I believe that should be it coming out now. Yep, there it is. There's probably a gasket on there, but I'm going to replace it, but just in case I can't find it. That's it. Keep that gasket just in case you don't have someone to reuse, and that's it. All right, so here's the factory gasket that I had that comes with it, but it's kind of thin and likes to hold heat. So what I'm going to do, install this thermal piece that's going to keep it away, the heat away from the turbo and the actual inlet pipe going in. So we're going to install that, and you can see how much thicker that is. That's going to keep heat away from the titanium pipe. So we're going to install these real quick. Looks like these are long enough. I had to use some longer ones in the past, but it looks like this one might work. So we'll see if the factory bolts actually go in there right now. This is probably one of the harder parts of doing this. So we're going to see. All right, so now we're going to finish tightening this up. I had to get the bolts in there, and not easy. Where'd that light go? So we can kind of show you what's going on here. That bolt is in now. But you can see the gasket, see how it sits between? So obviously I've got to tighten the bolts up and everything, but you see how it sits a space between the turbocharger and the inlet, keeps the heat off that pipe, helps tremendously. So let me get this tightened up a little bit, and we'll take it from there. Should be it. All right, so we're coming to finishing stages now. We did install the PRL pipe off the turbo, you saw that, and it's pretty self-explanatory. When you install the titanium pipe, you just got to make sure you use the right size clamps. There's some larger ones here and some smaller ones on the front, so just kind of pay attention to that. Like these are 70 mil, and these are 80 to 100. So these are 80 to 100. But pretty much now we're just going to back and reinstall everything. We kind of got everything mocked up at the moment. And we're going to install everything back in. All right, so we left off with installing the PRL piece that came off the turbo. And now we're just installing the titanium inlet. Pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you're using, there's two different size clamps. So these are 80 to 100. These are 70 to 90. These are 80 to 100, 70 90, 70 90, and 80 to 100. They are clearly labeled. We're pretty much all mocked up now. We're going to start tightening everything down. So let's go. That's going to drop in the back here. Okay, we left everything kind of loose, just a little bit, so we can get some play. All right. I'm going to bolt the box down next. That way I can keep adjusting everything here. There is a bolt in the back. The box will be a little tricky sometimes, but you will be able to get it installed. Just all about the alignment on this thing. But once you do, it kind of sits into place. You want to look down front in here. I'll have up the light. You can see the grommet, the bottom of the box is lined up down there. All right. You're gonna make sure in the back that the cold air is in the box. So I'm gonna take that light down here, and you can see it's installed into the box, where that's gonna pull the cold air from the fender. And then we're gonna do the necessary pieces up front. Looks like they gave you everything in a little bag here. We're going to bolt down nicely with little washers. And once we get everything bolted in, we will clamp down the couplings. Let's see. Looks like these bad boys definitely got some oomph to it. Definitely want to lose these because you only get one set. I also said before, just so you know, we kept our factory piece here. We didn't want to take off the plastic on the for the mass outflow sensor, so we just tucked it underneath the box, and that way we're keeping our factory piece in and not taking off the plastic and aluminum. It sits right there, not pulling on anything, so you should be pretty good there. But if you want to take off that plastic piece, you can. So right now we're just gonna button up everything right now. Because everything is good. And then make sure we got that back piece in. We need to do the box in the back. It's a 10 mil. So let me get some tools here. We're gonna have to get a new socket size for the front. Let's see what we got here. Make sure that's going in there right. Seems like it. Ain't going nowhere. And now we're going to start buttoning up all the pieces here. Grommets in, side's good. And let's start tightening up. Almost ready for its first startup. Another 70-90 over here. And this one has an 80 to 100.